Um, all right, so as Rachel said, my name is Ian. Um, I am the product owner for the team that is responsible for delivering Databricks. So just a little background. This process started about, I would say, a year and a half ago, um, where we were evaluating new tools to put into the ecosystem for you all due to the lack, I would say, of scalability, performance of your current tools. So Zeppelin. Um, from there, we spent about 3 months piloting a new program. So it was between Databricks and another tool. Ultimately, we did go with obviously Databricks, and so that happened last December, and we started developing in late December, early January. And now we have officially been able to roll out the first portion of Databricks, so the notebook portion. And later on in the session, I'll get into, what's coming next. But for right now, the agenda is I just want to give a little background on, where we started, where we're at today. I will dive into what Databricks is. I've been getting a lot of questions on more so high level about, now that we have this tool, really, what is it? What's the power? How powerful is it? How can it scale? A lot of higher level questions. So tomorrow's sessions will deal more with in the depth of technical discussions and that. But for right now, I'll be going over intro to Databricks, how to request access, the training material that we currently have, and what will be coming in the future slash how you can all help us create better training for the whole community. I will then go into what's available right now in Databricks, as well as what's coming next. And I know there's a lot of questions just from looking at the chat. So I will do a live demo, but I do want to leave some time for your questions, see if I can answer them today. So yeah, that is the plan of action. So without further ado, so what is Databricks? So basically, in today's data-driven landscape, organizations strive to efficiently process and extract valuable insights from large amounts of data. I was doing some reading and really found out that a lot of companies have a tremendous amount of data, but they really do not know what to do with it. It's almost data is pretty much gold right now for companies if they know what to do with it, how to transform it, etc. So Databricks has emerged more so as a leader, as the leading unified analytics platform that is out there. So that is why it was chosen for us to use and to implement into this ecosystem. It is top quality product. Some of the features. So it is a unified analytics platform. Combines the power of Apache Spark with more so collaboration and workspace capabilities. And you'll see that when I start sharing my screen, if you have not already gained access to the notebook versions yourself. So it is definitely a robust infrastructure for data processing, analysis, machine learning, and it really helps, or is going to help, as we all start to learn more about Databricks, like Empower, CMS, and all the contractors, all the organizations working here to derive more actionable, insights from their data. So, like I said prior, we know that the big pain point was some of the tools that you're using, right? So, Databricks, we want this to be a great experience that you can use to really help you in your analysis. So at the heart of Databricks lies Apache Spark. It's a very powerful computing engine. One of the biggest benefits for us as we transition to Databricks is the scalability and performance. So we know a lot of the contractors here want to process large amounts of data, perform complex computations differently and efficiently. So Databricks definitely provides that. And you'll see in a few slides, we do have a lot of testimonials for those who have been on the platform for a little while and what they've been successful doing. But just to summarize that up, Databricks does utilize under the hood Spark to deliver that seamless analytics experience. So for another benefit of Databricks is the collaboration workspaces. So they facilitate pretty seamless collaboration among data scientists, analysts, engineers. So there's a great sharing mechanism that is out there currently that comes natively with Databricks. So it allows you to collaborate on code easily, notebooks, any type of visualizations. So it really enhances that collaborative experience, especially, working remotely. We're not able to collaborate in person. So Databricks offers this on a scale that enables us to still work remotely and be collaborative, and helps us, develop our analysis more iteratively. So who can, what are some of the use cases of Databricks? So there are pretty large amount of use cases, right? So start off, you have data engineering and ETL. So Databricks really simplifies the tasks available for data engineering, like data extraction, transformation, loading. So Spark has pretty distributed, I would say, processing capabilities. So it auto scales, which is one of the biggest benefits of Databricks, as you will see moving forward, compared to some of the troubles that we have currently with SaaS. So I would say that for me is probably going to be the biggest impact to you all, not having to have our systems be down or things like that, things that you've experienced in the past that I know have caused you frustration. We want Databricks to alleviate those, and we plan to do that. So that is one use case. There are another one would be data exploration and analysis. So right now we have released the interactive notebooks that facilitate, exploratory data analysis. You can leverage SQL queries, data visualizations, as I talked about, machine learning to help you with your analysis and uncover some of the insights and make more informed decisions on your data. So right now that is available. And another one would be for real-time streaming or IoT analytics. So organizations that want to process high velocity data streams, detect patterns, things along those lines. And then lastly, data science and machine learning. So obviously, we're working with a lot of data scientists who want to support more so like the end-to-end data science workflows from model development to deployment. So Databricks offers that complete suite of tools and libraries for building. So one of the things I will touch on later is that ML portion and kind of what's to come. For what you can expect to see in the next few months, and as we all start to learn and develop some more features for Databricks. So why do we want to use Databricks? As I was explaining the use cases, it is scalable. It is very performant. As I touched on before, the auto scaling feature is really, I definitely think is going to be one of the biggest benefits that you will see from this, just from system availability point. There are a lot of languages that are supported, as you can see here. So R, Python, Scala, and SQL. And as I touched on a few moments ago, we can dive into data processing, visualizations, anything that you would need for your analytic abilities. Databricks offers and provides that very collaborative environment. And it really is more so a simplified use of tools. So if you want to go to the next slide, please. So this is going to be a quick testimonial. As I touched on before, we had some users that have been on the platform for a little while, and we wanted to highlight their experience and really show you and get you excited about, you know, the benefits of Databricks. So if you wouldn't mind press play. Thank you.
I would say this. I think that the organization, it wants to be a data-driven organization, and previously it just didn't have the tools to live up to that. There's talk about doing machine learning. There's talk about doing big data. There's talk about doing predictive analysis. You just can't do that stuff with the other tools that we had. And so if you're serious about wanting to be a data-driven organization, you need tools like Databricks. And so now at least that piece of the puzzle is in place.
As part of our rollout of Databricks to the CCSQ data and analytics community, we've been asking our pilot users for feedback about their experiences. Today, we wanted to share how Noah Johnson, a CMS data scientist, has been using the tool.
Complete game changer. So I think that there's two major differences. One, the user interface is a lot more functional. You can click through the databases, the data sets. You can organize your notebooks in different ways. You have a lot more preview options that make sort of on-the-fly data analysis better. So sort of the user interface is way better. But the other thing is the compute time. I even ran some experiments and things that I couldn't even run in Zeppelin because it would take 10 hours before crashing and timing out, take less than 5 minutes in Databricks. So it's really that compute power that is just game changing. I think it's been easier to collaborate. You can share stuff with Zeppelin, but it's not as collaborative. My experience with Zeppelin, and maybe I just didn't use it well enough, was you could share a notebook, but you couldn't co-edit it the same way that you can with Databricks. I also just think the outputs are easier to access. So in terms of your visuals, in terms of tables, in terms of, oh, you know, I just did this analysis. I want to download an Excel workbook to send it to my boss or send it to my team that is a summary. Very easy to do with Databricks. And I would say it takes a little bit of time to get used to, so don't get discouraged. But once you get used to it, it is so much better than the alternatives. It's faster, it's cleaner, and it's just more efficient. It blows the competition out of the water, be it SaaSFIA or Zeppelin.
Thank you for listening. We hope you get as much value out of Databricks as Noah. If you have any questions, be sure to attend the monthly CCSQ D&A Town Hall and bi-yearly data camps. Need assistance? Check out the hashtag CCSQ_data_analytics channel on QualityNet Slack. And you can reach our help desk at servicecentersos@cms.hhs.gov.
All right. So just as Noah touched on, and to kind of summarize what I was touching on, Databricks is really a powerful, super powerful unified analytics platform. It makes data processing and advanced analytics pretty seamless. So, you know, by using the compute engine and Apache Spark and providing these collaborative workspace features, you know, it's definitely going to empower the organization as a whole to efficiently, you know, process, analyze, and be able to derive those actionable insights that you're looking for from the data. So, the benefits are going to include scalability, collaboration, simplified workflows, integrations, which I will touch on later. So we're definitely very excited to get this out to you all, and we're looking for some collaboration as we move forward to enhance this as well as possible. So for this slide, I get a lot of questions on sort of requesting access to Databricks. So I will also be showing this in the demo. But basically, it is under, if you go into HARP, your HARP account, you go to request a role. It is under QualityNet Analytics, whatever your organization name, and then Databricks developer. Okay, so if you go to, and I will also be showing this too, this is also on our outward facing CCSQ data analytics page. So along with all of the other accesses, requesting accesses and onboarding trainings, things like that, it is located there. And I will show that to you in a few minutes. And after you are granted access on that same page, there is the URL for Databricks, and it'll be a single sign-on for you all. Next slide, please. So Training Hub, this will be in the same website in a little different area, but it is located on that outward-facing CCSQ site. And I will also be posting amongst a litany of different links for you all after this, some of the actual learning material from Databricks themselves. So Databricks has a really, really robust library of information. They have most of it, all of it is free for use. Now, if you do more so like these certification type things, then obviously that's going to cost some money, but they have a lot of free and great information out there, both in video format and in knowledge transfer or knowledge sharing documents. So I will be sharing both of those with you, and I will show you at the end of this. For any future trainings, anything that you want to see, I really want to instill this. Please put in a DAR request. If you do not know what that is, just ask your product manager or program lead, because I'm assuming they were the ones who usually input those. So if there's anything, and it could be anything, anything you think you need help with that I can explore more into, because if you're experiencing it, I'm sure somebody else along the line is as well. And we want to definitely serve you the best way that we can, or point you into the right direction. So say if it's not so much a specified use case to what we are doing, but maybe Databricks already has it, then I could be able to point you in that direction. But I definitely would love to have it more in a DAR request form, just so I can keep track of it and more so build it into our backlog to be able to give you a timeline and things like that. And to also get our HCD team on board and really do some thorough testing on this, because ultimately we want to nail down what all of your pain points are in order to better serve you. So if you do not know what that form is, just ask your program lead or product lead. I'm 99% positive they all do. So, and I will show you where that is located as well. Okay, next page, please. Okay, so right now, in April, we released the notebook version of Databricks. So what does that mean? That means that you have all native notebook capabilities and library installations. So since it is built on Spark and Python is derived from Spark, you would have all of the native Python and Spark libraries already installed. If you did want to install other libraries, you can do a pip install for those. It has that capability to accept those installs. So You would have 4 different types of languages available to you: Python, R, Scala, and SQL. Workbench and CDR data is available to you. And to touch on the 2 different clusters, so right now there is 1 cluster for Python and Spark, and Python SQL, and 1 for R. It's just with some of the configurations we had to make for our release to get it out timely. We had to make some of these decisions. So those 2 are on separate clusters. So if you were to run Python, Scala, or SQL, it would have to be on that compute cluster that is specified for that, versus the other compute cluster that says R only. So as we talked about, and as Noah touched on before, you will be able to share your notebooks. That's a pretty cool collaborative capability with Databricks. And as well as visualizing your results. There will be one of this in the demo. I will be going through a ggplot that actually Mohammed shared with me, and I thought it was really good to show. So just some of the things inside the notebook cells that really make it collaborative and a very user-friendly tool. Now for AutoML, right now that is on a request and approval basis. We do want to serve you. We do want to serve you with that, but if you would like to explore AutoML, we are exploring some other some issues with it right now, but it can still be requested to get you on the wait list, so that can be approved. And for that goes along with a lot of the training stuff too. If you would like to be requested for AutoML, please put in a DAR request or ask your program lead to do that. So for that, let me just check my notes here. I'll make sure I got everything. Yeah, I think we're good for right now. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, so this is a big one. So what's coming next? All right, so for all of my SAS VIA, BYOA, BYOD users, this next release is going to be geared towards you. So the SQL warehouse portion of our release, right? So be on the lookout in early June for this release. So this is going to allow you to connect other technologies through JDBC connections. I will be going and showing you, I pasted it here, but there are some, the Databricks list out all the technology partners that they have. So Tableau, Power BI, and there's a giant list that they interact with. So if you have any questions on that, please feel free to reach out, and or if you have a use case for a certain one that you would like our help with, please don't hesitate to come to me, and I will definitely explore it for you all. So with that, that is one of the major item that is coming next down the pipe for our releases. Once that is out, that would enable that is the full capability of what Databricks has to offer. So now that all those features would be out, right, we really want to hone down on, okay, we have this tool, we know it's really powerful, performant. How can we help the community learn how to use it in the best way possible, right? So some of the other things coming down the line are more geared towards education, building out that robust library that we want to serve you all with. So some of the things that we've discussed were leaning into AutoML and more low code, no code, as well as helping understand even just the native functionalities and how to really leverage some of those languages that I talked about in the notebooks before. So that's really the focus as of right now for what would be coming next. We have this tool. Now we really want to educate you all, and as well as ourselves, on the best way and the most efficient way to use the tool. Another item that I do want to bring up is the whole main goal, obviously, with the release of Databricks was to get you all a more performant and stable tool. Okay, so now that we've released, half of the capabilities, and we'll be releasing the other half here very shortly. One of the major things that will be coming down the line is the migration off of Embari onto Databricks. So the reasoning for all the communication, for trying to really market Databricks and show you all of these testimonials and the power and performance of Databricks is to get you excited, get you to learn it, so that you want to instill yourself onto the platform, because ultimately the goal is to get off of Embari and onto Databricks. So with this education, we want to make it a really fun transition as much as we can, informative, collaborative, and we do want to do it efficiently, so that we're not having to support two at the same time. And I do want to mention that the quicker we do get over to off of Embari, off of Hive to Databricks, the more stable the environment is. I touched on it before, but obviously we see the messages with SAS and SAS Viya and Embari and the stability issues that are there with our extremely coupled systems. So in order to decouple them, this is the solution that we have come up with, and the best way to do it is to work with you all in order to facilitate that migration, and do it as efficiently and seamless as possible. So if you do have any questions about that, there's going to be a lot of communication from me in the next few weeks. That is post the phase, we call it a phase 2 release. So the SQL Warehouse release, that is my number one focus, is serving you all and to get this migration through. So I would say to really be on the lookout for all of my communication regarding that, and to be on the lookout for all the educational opportunities that are going to come up. If you see any newsletters or any of the town halls and the QNet chats and all of that, please join them, because I will most likely be speaking in all of them, trying to get the name of Databricks out there for our entire user community and beyond, to really get the excitement going, because we really are excited about the product that we pushed out, and wanting to serve you all the best that we can. So please join all of these calls, learn as much as you can, give us feedback when we need it, which is all the time. Please provide me all the feedback you can, and that will be the best way to collaborate through this. And we are definitely looking forward to serving you. So next slide, please. Okay, so now I'm going to go through a few different things on the live demo. It's going to be pretty comprehensive from start to finish. So I will go through how to request through HARP. I will go through where the training material is, where the Databricks hosted training material is, and the types of things that they have, as well as I'll show you where the DAR request is, and then I'll navigate through the the landing page a little bit and show you what's available right now. So, all right, let's start with HARP. I've been getting a lot of questions about where to request. So, all right, so if you go into request a role, QualityNet Analytics, pick your organization, whichever one you belong to. For me, it is eSimplicity. And then on the second page, it'll show you, so I saw a question on the page, if why this would be gone. This would only be gone if you're already approved. Now, you should not be approved for admin access, so that should always be there if it is. But I saw that question in the chat. If it is gone, that means it should mean you have. If you don't and it's gone, then please reach out to me. We'll have to reach out to the HARP team and see what the problem is there. Okay, so that was a quick one. Now the CCSQ, if you've never been on this page, it is our outward facing communications page. It just goes through everything that we have to offer tools wise, training wise, and community and support wise. So for what I just showed you as far as requesting and getting access, there's a drop down menu here. It goes through all of our tools, and we just added Databricks when we released it a month ago. But it goes through the same things here. And as I talked about before, once you are approved by your SO, just come back here and the URL is right here, which will take you to the single sign-on page. So that's for requesting. If you go to the knowledge base, you'll see a litany of different products that we have to offer. Databricks being right here, our training team has done a great job in coming up with the first iteration of some of the knowledge sharing documents that we have to offer. So there's an intro there. And then there's, debugging tips, copying Zeppelin, selecting an R cluster. And like I said earlier, please continue to put requests in for things you want to see. I don't care how easy or what type of question it is, please put it all in there just so I have some understanding of what our user community's pain points are. And then I can ask you more questions and we can get some more things out in here for you. So this is where the knowledge documents are. If you come down to our training hub, this is more so where the videos lie. So for right now, we have 2, and we're going to be adding more for the second release. So you'll see things like how to connect SaaSBio to Databricks, selecting a token, creating a token from Databricks. So things along those lines. So for right now, we have more so of an intro video, which is really good. It's very high level on how to run a cell and visualizations and things like that. So check that one out. The second one is if you have a Git repository, it's a 2-minute video on how to link that to Databricks. So this is where the training material lies and will lie as we move forward. Now for the DAR request form, that is this. So DAR is data and analytics request. And if you come in here, you can fill out this form or ask your program lead, program manager, whatever your, delegation of command does. So please put those in just so I can see them. We have meetings weekly looking at that board. So I would love to get some help from the user community along those lines. So this is our outward facing community page. So you request access, you got it. You have the URL now. You go look at some of our training material and documents, and you watch the intro video. You've connected your GitHub, and you can come here now. You can go to, I touched on this earlier, but this is the Databricks website for learning. So they have a lot of great training and onboarding type things. It touches on everything that I have touched on earlier. So machine learning, SQL, data analytics and science, as well as if you want to take their certifications, but they have a litany of knowledge transfer documents. And also I pulled up their YouTube. So they have a very, very, very robust YouTube channel with longer and very, shorter micro trainings. So something as simple as like, what is a notebook? They'll dive into that for like 5 minutes. They're having their data and AI summit coming up soon, and they have the old one posted here. So they have all of their videos categorized. So if you're new to Databricks, if you're experienced data scientist, they have a whole litany of things. And if you have any questions or things you want me to ask some of our partners at Databricks for more explanations on, or something that we don't know, please don't hesitate to ask. I will go and find the answers for you. So like I was saying, they have a very, very robust video platform here. All right, so now that you have all this training material, you have your HARP request. Here's some of the knowledge sharing documents I was telling you about. It could be very simple, or they go into very robust questions and answers. So now, if we here, I'll show you what the single sign-on page looks like. Where am I? All right, so here's what the single sign-on page looks like. It'll take you to, and then you sign in. All right, so this is your landing page. Okay, so this is the main page of Databricks. If you put your cursor to the left, it'll pop out with a menu. So you'll have your workspace. This is where you'll find your user profile, and you'll see Mohammed's is here. So his is here because he shared with me a notebook a while ago, but for R testing. So we were doing some testing on the R stuff. He shared it with me. That is, as I was talking about earlier, one of the more collaborative efforts that you can do with real-time editing and things like that. So I'll show you that in a second. But this is where your workspace is. So your user profile, any of the notebooks that you've created will be right here, or you can come in and create a new notebook. Okay, so there's the new notebook, and up here, you can specify which language you want to be the default language. And you can also change it here if you wanted something different. So SQL, Python, whatever. Going back to the left bar here, you have your compute, the clusters that you need to attach your notebooks to in order to run your analysis. So as you'll see here, there are 2 compute clusters. If we go in here, you'll see some of the performance and the worker types. So when I talk about that auto scaling feature, right? So you're at minimum going to have 1 worker, but the more analysis you're doing, or that is on the cluster, whether you or another person, it'll go auto scale all the way up to 30. So one of the biggest benefits, I would say, is that feature right there. But this goes through, what driver types you have, the instance profiles, everything there. You can look at the event logs on how the cluster is doing, if it's up or down, metrics, some of the libraries. So that is all there for you to look at. And one thing I forgot to mention in what is to come is one of the biggest benefits of Databricks is the ability to have, this powerful engine on a personal level, right? So a personal compute level. So one thing that we want to build out in the coming months is that ability to have that personal compute. So what does that mean? That means the ability to change these type of things like your IO, the memory by yourself, not having to go through an admin or come to us and ask for more. It would be within boundaries, but you would have the ability to change some of those things. I will say it is going to be sort of like auto ML where it's on a request based level, but if you have a use case where you think that you need the ability to have that person compute and change it on your own, then that is something that will be approved for you as we build it out. So be on the lookout for that, because Databricks, this is a huge benefit of this product. So that personal compute level. Okay, so we went through the compute. There is an R only cluster, as I talked about, and then there's the compute cluster. So Python, SQL, PySpark, or Scala. So data, this is everything you have access to. It'll show you all the databases. It'll go through the tables, everything that you are supposed to have access to. The schemas and down to the table level will show you some of the details there. So as well as all the databases. So if you wanted to go in there and you see that you don't have the correct access, or you're missing something, that's where you would look into, or that's where you put in the request for the support team, and we would get that fixed for you. But if you wanted to come here and see all the databases you had access to, all the data you had access to, this would be where that is. Moving on, so repos, as I talked about before, the repo for or adding a repo, adding a Git repo. I mean, I did create a video on that for you all. It's in that training hub, as I spoke about before. And this is where you would complete that. So take a look at that and you'll be able to connect that, that repo for yourself. If you go up here to the top left menu, you'll see that there are 3 selections. On your machine right now, if you are in the notebooks and you have access and you're currently using Databricks, you'll notice that SQL is locked. So that is the feature that will be coming or in early June, right? So that's that SQL version, the ability to connect the SQL warehouse to SAS, SAS Biome, and have that ability there. So right now yours will show that it's locked, but look out for that in the next coming weeks, sorry. And it will be, we will be sending out an email with all of the instructions and a video of more so kind of what I'm doing right now, explaining what will be included in that and some of the features of that portion. So that's for the SQL. So the data science and engineering is for more so your notebooks and your code analysis. And then machine learning, obviously, again, like I said, is on a request basis. And we are fixing a few things for it, but that's where that portion is located. For right now, I'll just stay on the data science page, but to give you an explanation onto why that is locked, that is what that portion's for. So for coming into your user settings, if you haven't looked at this yet, you'll see that you can change your password, do all that. But so for access tokens, this is where you're going to come in for if you're a SAS bio user, grab these tokens here, create a new one. For your Git integration, it's going to be similar. And you'll see in that video, you'll have to grab a token from Git and put it in here to connect. It goes through different types of settings that you want turned on for your editors. So I would highly recommend taking a look through there if you are not happy with some of the out-of-the-box things that Databricks has to offer. And you can save some of your query snippets here too. So if I go to some of the notebooks that I have, Right now, it looks like the cluster got terminated, but that's okay. It's still showing. If you, I just wanted to have this pre-populated, just because I wasn't sure about timing, but I did some quick assessments here. I just used the magic command and typed in SQL, so that would turn on the SQL portion of this, and I did show databases just to show what the visualizations look like for this. I did a limit 10, but again, if I did percentage R or whatever the other two, Python or Scala, it would show up there, and you can write in that language. So these are the notebook cells. These are some of the things or how the visualization in the UI looks like. And to show you more so what Mohammed shared with me. Oops. Here we go. All right, so he shared with me an R testing thing where he installed a package called Tidyverse. Sure you've used it before. He looked on what was included in the library. And so again, just a short little demo of what things look like in the UI and how you can use it. But one last thing I do want to touch on is, so I've gotten some questions. I want to really harp on, if you want to run R, you have to make sure that the R cluster is the one you're using. If you want to use Spark, you can use Spark R, where you download or install the Spark R library and run it on the compute cluster. But for R itself, you're going to need to do it on this cluster. Whenever you get an error when you try to run something and there's no, you haven't been attached to a cluster, this is where you would come. As you can see right now, it's terminated, but that's what the stop button's for. So if it's running, that means it's green. It'll be a green circle. If it is spinning up, there'll be a moving circle right here. So just a couple of things to look out for. Just make sure you're on the right cluster and make sure that it is started. Okay. So, and to make sure it's running. So green means it's good. And I will say this, if you're doing an analysis, say that you start your analysis at 11 o'clock and you finish at, you want to take a break for lunch at 12 and you come back at 12:05, the clusters automatically turn off or terminate after 60 minutes. So just be careful of that if you're wondering, well, why did this just turn off on me or something like that. So it does turn off after 60 minutes. And I think, with the time, it seems like we have 10 minutes left, so I want to leave time for questions. But just to show you guys the UI on a high level, some of the things that you might have not been aware of with the compute cluster and where your data is located and what's to come next. I just wanted to quickly demo through that. So you got your HARP thing done, you know where the training material is, and now you have a good idea of what more so how to look at the UI, things like that, and how to start a cluster, how to start or switch languages, things like that. So I think that's all I have for right now.